Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live with the Pricing Lady. I'm Janine Liston, your hostess. Welcome to the show. This show is all about helping small business owners like you understand how you can use pricing better in your businesses. We build the right pricing strategies. We help you understand the value that you deliver and charge for that value, as well as help you communicate the value that you deliver. Welcome once again. Today's episode is all about how to keep the price value scale in balance. We're going to take a look at a few things. First of all, what is the price value scale? Second of all, what are the downsides when we are discounting? What can happen in our business and what happens to the value that we have or that we deliver, or at least the perception of that value? Then we're going to take a look at what happens when we get asked for discounts and why we end up discounting. And then last, we're going to take a look at what we can do instead of changing the price in order to keep that scale in balance. So stick with me all the way through so that you understand not just what's going on, but what to do next. Okay, let's get started first of all by talking about what is the price value scale. So here's the thing, when we set the price for a product or service, we understand, or what we're telling our customers is that this price represents the value that you can get. Now, there are a few different ways or perspectives that we can have on the value. So sometimes the price of our product or service is equal to the value we think a customer can get or extract from using that product or benefiting from our service. Sometimes they will get the value out of that product or service over time. So maybe the value of the product is less than what they're paying, but it will take more time for them to recoup that investment they've made in that product or service. Or sometimes the third option, that's what I was trying to say there, the third option is that the value that we deliver is actually more than the price. So the price becomes a percentage of the value. Now, these are three different ways that we say the value equals, or the price is equivalent to the value. And we set this sort of mark saying, okay, this is in balance based on what I'm offering you. So we've set up price on one side of the scale and value on the other. And what happens is when someone asks for a discount, they're trying to shift that balance. Now, there are different reasons they might do that, and I'll get into that in a moment. What's important and what I'd like you to really keep in your mind at all times when you're talking, thinking, and doing things with pricing in your business is think about this price value scale. As I said, sometimes price and value are set to be equal. Sometimes the price is set as a percentage of the value, and other times the price is higher than the value, but the customer gets their return on investment over time. This is really important because this is actually going into how you set your prices. But what's really the critical message here is keep that price value scale in mind. And anytime you're doing something, adjusting prices, adding value, whatever, you're always adjusting that scale and the perception that people will have of that scale. So what happens? You're having a discussion with a customer about your offer, your new product, your latest course or program, and all of a sudden they say, okay, that's great. Can I have a 10% discount? Or something along those lines. Sometimes they may even just object and not request a discount. But what happens is the instinct is for many people to go ahead and grant that. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, it's the path of least resistance. It's easy to do, right? So if it's easy to do, then there's an instinct to just do it, get it done and over with. Second of all, it enables you to avoid what might feel like a difficult conversation, right? If somebody says, I want a discount, and you say no, or some derivative of that, all of a sudden you got to have an honest conversation with people. And that can feel a bit uncomfortable for you. And I know some of you out there even want to avoid having that conversation. So you actually use saying yes in this situation as a way to avoid having the conversation. But as soon as you say yes, boom, that price value scale, actually price is over here, that price value scale all of a sudden gets out of whack. So there are two things going on here. Either you've priced yourself wrongly compared to the value and the customer wants you to adjust that, or you're telling the customer, actually, I don't really see that the value is there, so okay, I'm going to offer you that discount that you've requested. So here we get into a problem with this price value scale, and you need to think about, is that really the message that I want to be giving them? So it could be a value mismatch. It could be that you're trying to get a deal. That might be why you're granting or feeling the need to grant a discount. It could be, oh, sorry, I read that wrong. So sorry, I'm looking at my notes. But actually the question here is, why might they be asking for a discount? Now, the customer might see there's a value mismatch. They might be just trying to simply get a deal from you. They might also be conditioned just to ask for a discount because, 9 times out of 10, when you ask, what happens? People say yes, right? But we want to, when we do that in our business, then we actually condition the customers to ask for it next time. It could also be simply that it's an industry standard. So there are a lot of reasons that they may ask for that. But your job when they do ask is to start asking questions. I'll come into that in a moment. So your instinct when they ask, as I said again, is to say, okay, let's do it. Let's grant that discount. But there are some downsides, both for you, for your business, and for your customers over the long term when you do too much of this behavior. Now, let me caveat and say one thing. If your target market is seeking for the lowest price solution in the marketplace, then discounts may be a part of your overall strategy. And this wouldn't necessarily apply to you. I put that in quotes because it could be also damaging. But you could also, with an economy strategy, just have everyday low prices, and then you wouldn't use discounting. So you have to really be clear about what your strategy is. So let's talk about the downsides of discounting. So first of all, as I said before, when you agree to a discount, you're basically telling the client, yeah, you're right. The value and price are not in balance. Therefore, I'll go ahead and give you a lower price. So you're actually destroying value when you're doing that. So when and if you do grant discounts, you're going to want to take some actions when you do that in order to make sure that you're not destroying value. But that's a video for another day. So another downside is that if you have repeat customers, so if your customers buy from you time and time again, they may come to expect those discounts every time, which means they'll keep asking, you'll keep feeling uncomfortable and keep granting them, and then they'll keep asking, and so on and so forth. And again, over the long run, this may not serve you. So it negatively hits your bottom line. I have had several customers come to me. They're like, my price is right. I'm selling enough of these things, but I'm still not earning the money that I thought I would. Then when we look into the details, they actually, through all of their discounting and special offers and all these other things that they do, they're not selling at the price that they thought they were. They're selling at a price much lower, which then means they are not earning enough profit. Next, if you continue with this behavior over the medium and long term, this is where it gets bad, not just for you, but also your customers, because you won't be there to serve them any longer. So this is what happens a lot of times with businesses is they're trying to buy business by discounting and special offering their way through things. And that hurts their bottom line, their profitability, which means they don't have money to reinvest back into the business. They don't have money to live off of and keep their families in a nice home and food on the table and things like that. So then they have to shut the business down. This is exactly what we don't want for you. And lastly, one of the downsides is it can build resentment for you in terms of if you're giving discounts and then you're feeling like you're not getting paid what is really the value of your offer. Of course, that will mean you might be building up resentment, and that will have an impact on the relationship that you have with your clients. Okay, to those of you who are watching me live, hello out there. You're welcome to ask any questions you want in the comments, or if you have feedback, go ahead and plop that in their comments. For those of you who are watching the recording, please also put your comments in the chat if you can, and I will go ahead and answer those as I see them come up. So now you guys are all wondering, all right, Janine, I get it. I need to keep this price value scale thing in balance. And I understand, yeah, I'm being kind of lazy when I just grant discounts because it's the path of least resistance. So the question is, what can I or what should I be doing when this comes up? So first of all, what you should do when a customer asks for a discount or objects is simply just take a nice deep breath. This is going to help keep your cognitive brain in the driver's seat so that you don't get nervous and just grant it without really thinking about, is this the right thing for my business and for this customer? The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to start asking questions. You can do this in many different ways. I will put into the comments, actually I can put it right up here. I have an objections handling guide that you can use to get more information about this. But basically you want to start asking questions because you want to identify. So do they feel that the price and the value are not aligned? Do they not understand the value? Are they just trying to get a discount because that's what they always do? What is behind this request for a discount or this pricing objection? Because that's going to tell you, once you understand that, it's going to tell you what you can do next. By the way, I'll also put that link in the comments for you later. So it's really important to not just grant the discount, not just say yes, but to understand where it's coming from. It's your job to start asking a few questions. It could be like, oh, that's really interesting. I'm curious, why do you think that the price is not aligned with the value you get? Or why do you think you would, I would need to grant a discount? There's different ways that you can approach that. There's loads of them in the Pricing Objections Handling Guide. Second of all, once you do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to adjust the value. Here's the thing. If you have your price and your value on your scale over here, and things are going on and you're adjusting. Customers asked for a discount, so the price drops. Now things are out of whack if you were to grant that discount. But if you go and you drop the price, and for some reason they're still not happy, they may want more. So then your only option is to drop the price again or walk away from the offer. When it comes to the price side of the scale, you only have one option. You just drop the price. And as I said before, there are consequences to that. So what we want to do is we want to focus on the value side of the scale, because that is where things can be adjusted and you have more options for adjusting. So for example, you can offer them something of lower value. So now I know many of you have seen out there that a lot of companies, online businesses, they have 3 package options, and each option is a different price point and has different things included. Those are different value points. So if you're trying to sell them, the middle package and they say, that's too expensive. Can I have a discount? You say, you know what? I can't offer a discount on this package, but why don't we talk about how this basic package could work for you? This is one way of adjusting the balance in that scale. You're adjusting the price and the value at the same time, so the scale remains in balance. Second of all, you can remove value. So this is usually not done with standard offers, but if you look at custom, let's say you're making a custom offer for something. It could be a custom bundle of products for something, or a custom service that you offer. What you do is you say, okay, well, why don't we take out this piece of work? And if we do that, take out this value, then I can adjust the price down to here. There's a couple things when you do this. First of all, you got to make sure that's not going to negatively impact the output, the main output that they're looking for in terms of working with you or with your products. And second of all, you got to also make sure that it's not going to influence, how do I want to put this? It's not going to have a negative impact on how people perceive the value that they can get from you. So you still want to hold your standards. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, you want to still make sure that you can do the work or deliver the product to the same level or standard that you're accustomed to and that matches with your brand and the perception you want people to have with you. So that's the caveat on that one. And then the last thing that you can do is if you can't do anything on the price and you can't really take value out or offer them a lower value, then you use what I call deal sweeteners. And deal sweeteners are things that you can throw in. They're of little value to you, but big value to clients, or even little value to clients sometimes, but they just kind of grease the wheels. How does this one work? So this one is really great. I love these. Deal sweetener is customer says, this is really great. I don't really have the budget for it. Can you give me a 10% discount? And you say, oh, thank you for that. I appreciate your budget situation. However, I can't move on the price, but what I will do is I'll add in a free copy of my book. Or we can make the sessions 75 minutes instead of 60 minutes. Or I can give you access to my 5-day video series. Whatever it is that you have in your back pocket, you can throw that in there. Sometimes it can even be a free one-on-one consultation with you, depending on what it is. So you should keep a list of deal sweeteners handy so that when you can't adjust things in terms of the offer, in terms of taking value out, you can also sweeten the deal by adding in a little something. And let me remind you, deal sweeteners, they should be easy for you to deliver, not costly from your side. Maybe it's something that you put together once and then you can use repeatedly, like an ebook or something like that. But they should also be of value to the customer, and they're going to work best when they're in context and aligned with something the customer actually could benefit from or wants. Of course, that seems obvious, but I just wanted to make the point. So these are 3 different ways that you can actually adjust the value side of the scale while holding your price steady, or in the case of the first option, lower the value and the price at the same time, or first and second options. Okay, let me repeat those 3 in case you joined us in the middle of that. So right now we're talking about what you can do in order to keep that price value scale in balance. Number 1, you can make them a lower value offer. So that means you have a downsell of some sort that you can put them into instead. So let's say you're offering a one-to-one coaching package and they go, I don't really have the money to invest in that right now. You could say, oh, well, that's great. I have this group program. That's one way to do it. Or, like they do with our mobile phones, you can have, I'm going to really date myself here because I have no idea what storage size these phones come in. You can have 64 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes, right? And that's another way to shift the value and the price at the same time. The second thing you can do if it's a custom offer is you can actually remove value from your offer. So let's say you've included mentoring in the main offer, and maybe the customer doesn't fit his budget or her budget, and you say, you know what, why don't we take the mentoring out, we do the project, and then when we get into it, if you have more budget, we can talk about bringing the mentoring back in. That allows you to simply lower the value you're delivering and the price at the same time. The third one is those deal sweeteners, one of my favorite topics. Instead of lowering or changing the price, you can actually add in something of value to kind of grease the wheels when they've asked for a discount. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me today. That's what I wanted to share with you. So we took a look at how you can keep the price value scale in balance, knowing that when you set your prices, you're making a statement. This price is a representation of the value. And we looked at 3 different ways that it represents value. You need to go back to the beginning if you missed that part. Then we took a look at what are some of the downsides. Why do customers even ask for discounts? What's prompting that discussion in the first place? Then we looked at what are the downsides of over discounting. And last, we took a look at what you can do instead of just simply agreeing to that discount. That was what I had for you today. I wanted to remind you, if you're struggling with pricing objections or people asking for discounts, I have this pricing objections handling guide. It gives you step-by-step instructions how to handle that, plus some example scripts so that you can develop your own way of handling those discussions, but with some cues and some ideas on how to do that. That guide here at JanineListon.com, Objections Handling Guide. I'll throw that into the comments below after the show. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, one last thing. If you'd like to talk to me about pricing in your business and see how I might be able to help you, go on over to JanineListon.com/discovery call and let's have that chat together. That's all for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, enjoy pricing, everyone.